Hey, welcome to this week's Herbal Time Out with Amy the Herbalist. I'm here today with my sweet friend Michelle. We are here today to make fire cider. What? So, what we're going to do is kind of give you a quick tour of what we need to make fire cider at home. We tried to do a video a minute ago and it was 25 minutes, so we're going to make this one shorter for you. Okay. All right, so what do we need? Let's get started. We're going to need some horseradish. Comes in a root. You'll find this at the grocery store. It might be kind of hard to find, so make sure you look for your natural stores. They should carry it. The bulk of it is horseradish root and garlic. And we're going to need some red onion, some ginger, some jalapeno, that's if you want to. I like to add turmeric and citrus to mine. And probably some cinnamon sticks as well for flavor. What the gist of why are we making fire cider? So what's the gist? Why fire cider? So during the winter months, our bodies tend to slow down and we get a little bit more sluggish. What we want to do is speed up that circulatory system, get it going. We tend to sit more in the winter, so we're more active in the summer. So our bodies get a little bit more stagnant. We need that heat in our bodies to bring back balance to that stagnant body. So not only are we increasing our circulation, we're boosting our immune system. Yes. A lot of the herbs we have are antibacterial, antifungal. They boost our immune system. They are just good. Let's just put it that way. They're good for our bodies in the winter. So, how do we do this?
We get our jar.
Very good. Again, we've already done this one time.
And we make sure that it is dry because water causes mold.
Very good. So proud. All right. So here we go. Let's add some horseradish. Okay. It's already been peeled and chopped really fine. Once I've skinned it, I use a grater to get it super fine. Make sure your herbs are loose in your jar. You're not packing them down because we want the apple cider vinegar to be able to swirl around all of the ingredients in your jar. I would say use 2 parts horseradish to 1 part everything else. And Michelle asked me, why did we do that? Well, it's because horseradish is kind of thick, guys. It's very rooty. It is a root, but it's more dense compared to everything else that's a little bit more liquid based. And so we need a little bit more horseradish in your jar to pull out the same amount of constituents. So just a little tip, a little bit more horseradish. While she's adding all of these ingredients to her jar, what did you just put in? Citrus?
I did. Rosemary?
Yes. I like to add rosemary to mine. Thyme is another good one. They're antivirals. So anytime you can, do you remember the trick? Anytime you can add a fresh herb, you should. So I showed Michelle a trick when using rosemary. This is rosemary fresh from the garden. It's been wilting for a couple of hours. And she did it. So basically with rosemary, I gave her the tip. Hold the tip of your rosemary at the top. Slide your finger down the stem. You end up with a clean stem and lots of rosemary. Boom. Antivirals right there to boost your immune system and help fungus and viruses and all those nasties up in your body during the wintertime. All right. Michelle's a teacher. She needs as much immunity boosting as she can get around those little kids. So, add your ingredients to your jar. I would say, yes.
If I wanted to like heat up my body some more, what else would I put in it? Real quick.
Good question. So, extra stuff. So we added the cinnamon warming. Pepper. Pepper increases you should put a little pepper. Pepper increases the way that turmeric functions in our body. It's actually an accelerant for a lot of herbs. So a little teaspoon of pepper to accelerate turmeric, to accelerate those other herbs is fantastic. What else could you add? Chili pepper, red pepper flakes, some cloves. Again, cloves, part of the 4 Thieves recipe. If you don't know what that is, you should check that out. It's very important. Very similar to 4 Thieves, but it's not. We're talking Appalachian medicine, folk medicine right here. Okay. Another good thing, if your body tends to run hot and you need something to bring that fire cider back down, think berries, juniper berries, elderberries, rose hips. All of those things are loaded with vitamins and minerals, but especially vitamins C's, which we need during the winter months. So you could add some elderberries, some rose hips, juniper berries. Juniper berries you're going to find this time of year when it's cooler. Add those in, and it takes down some of that heat. So if you run hot naturally, this will help balance it out a little bit better for you. So now what do?
We need our apple cider vinegar with the mother. Make sure it's organic. And look at the bottom and make sure that all the, I called it sediment. She said something fancy. And you just shake it.
Inulin, it's that apple mock from the bottom of those apples. So you just want to make sure all those vitamins are mixed up in your apple cider vinegar. We want that in our end product. So what you're going to do is just pour your apple cider vinegar all the way to the shoulder of your jar, that first little ledge.
Right there.
Perfect.
Okay.
You just want to make sure the ingredients are covered and you have enough apple cider vinegar at the top. Good job, Mama.
Thanks.
So what are we going to do now? You have a lid?
No.
Again, this is our second time making the video. So we have a metal lid, and we have also plastic lids.
What's the difference?
We're so silly. So plastic lids. Ball makes a new plastic lid. It is supposed to be leak proof. It's great for things like apple cider vinegar because vinegar will cause your metal lids to kind of corrode and rust a little bit. So you want to protect those metal lids, and so if you don't want to use your metal lids, you have plastic lids now. If you are using apple cider vinegar in a metal lid, make sure you use
wax paper.
Wax paper, guys. And all that does is it creates a little boundary between your jar and your lid so that your metal doesn't rust against the apple cider vinegar when you what?
Shake it up.
And are you going to shake it every day?
Every day.
A couple of times a day?
A couple of times a day.
Every time you walk past it in the kitchen?
Every single time. So with that said, like, I'll shake it every day. When can I actually drink it?
4 weeks after you strain it. We need you to strain it first.
Oh, okay.
But in about 4 weeks, let this sit on your shelf in a cool, dark place, in your kitchen cabinet, on your countertop, away from a window. We just don't want it to heat up. We don't want it, again, we don't want to have mold happen inside your jar. But definitely you want to keep it somewhere you're not going to forget to shake it. So maybe in a bathroom counter, because how many times a day do you go tinkle?
Yeah.
Just shake it. So as long as you're shaking it 3 times a day, I would say you're good.
Okay.
And then after 4 weeks, you should be ready. Can you go longer? Sure. Can you strain it sooner? Sure. Again, there's no right or wrong reason when it comes to fire cider. But I would say at 4 weeks will be the perfect time. You're going to strain it off. You're going to take all of that gorgeousness. Here's one that's been sitting from our first video. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's all sitting in there, and you can see the color has already started to change. It's gorgeous. Oh my God, smell it.
Look at the difference.
Oh. Yep. You see the difference where the ingredients are starting to marry.
Wow.
Yay.
Okay.
So you're going to take these ingredients, you're going to strain them into a jar.
A dry jar.
And I'm not going to do it because I'm going to make a mess. So anyway, take those ingredients and strain them through a really tight mesh strainer. And you're going to end up with a liquid base. Ooh, I almost didn't have that lid on there. That was almost a mistake. So you can end up with your, look at that color. So this is your fire cider after it's been strained. Voila. And then what you're going to do is you're going to create maybe 1 part honey, 3 parts apple cider vinegar.
Local honey.
Local honey is best. Get those nice allergens in there. Again, do you have to have 1 part to 3 parts? No. Could it be less? Yes. Maybe start drinking it, and as you get used to it, you can back off the honey, and you might just take it straight. Speaking of taking it straight, how do you take it? I usually put it in a shot glass and kick it back, and then I drink something after it. You could put it in sparkling water or sparkling cider or in your tea, however you want to do it. do it. For me, it's just easier to put it in a shot glass and do it back. Once a day, if you're feeling great. If you start to feel kind of run down, cold and fluish, that's a technical word.
Okay.
Maybe up it to 3 times a day. And that is it. That's your dosage. What other questions you got? Can you make it wrong?
Can I?
Uh-huh.
I can make it wrong?
No! She's so silly, y'all. You can't make it wrong. But put in there what you want to put in there. The object is to warm your body. If you're looking for recipes, Rosemary Gladstar did a whole book on fire cider, and there are a ton of fantastic recipes. Some are sweet, some are very pungent, some are very warming. But again, there's no rhyme or reason. If you don't like onions, don't use onions. If you don't want to use the extra jalapeno for that extra bite, don't use them. It's that simple. How much did all this cost? Maybe to make a jar this size, it's not going to cost much. Maybe $5 to make the whole thing. But what I tend to do is I don't want to waste a whole horseradish, and I need it in bulk, because if you don't want to make fire cider, you can buy it on the website at amytheherbalist.com. Shady plug. Shady.
No shade.
But I tend to make about 3 half gallons at a time.
Okay.
So for all of that, I'll probably be at about $25 after everything. I do add a few extra things in mine on the website. So, and that's it. That's fire cider.
Yeah. We did it.
We did it
Twice.
So, if you make fire cider at home, please reach out if you have any questions. Feel free to tag Amy the Herbalist online on your social media account so I can see how your fire cider is going. And if you have any other questions, let me know. And that's this week's Herbal Time Out with Amy the Herbalist. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Bye, guys.
Bye.